All right, so the next area that we're going to look at is the non-personal promotion piece. This is what we generally think of as advertising, even though not all of us will be doing full-blown advertising campaigns or anything like that. The first part of this is, what is our media selection? And so generally, traditional media formats, we think of broadcast media, TV, radio, billboard, those type of items. Not all of us are going to be using that type of dollars or that type amount of money. And so there could be flyers, brochures. Somewhere in there you need to identify what is your digital marketing process going to be. Are you going to have a web page? Are you going to do a Facebook page? How are you going to reach customers? How are customers going to find you? If you are an online-only business, then you're really going to spend a lot of time and effort identifying not only what the look and feel of your site's going to be, but how are you going to get people to find your site. I do teach an e-commerce class, and I get a trade publication called Internet Retailer, and they just did a very interesting article on Facebook and some of the other social media sites where basically they have said that if you're a business, the amount of people that are seeing your messages is down to 1%. Even if the people who like your product, they like you online, that Facebook has changed their algorithm so much for you to actually be able to use it as a business promotion tool, they're basically forcing companies to use their advertising. And so they have changed those components. We saw this happening, I'd say, about 2 or 3 years ago on Facebook, even at the restaurant, where if I would just type into a Facebook post and say, hey, the specials today are blah, 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 and send that out, I would get probably about 70% of the people that liked our business would see it. But I'm like, God, that's boring just to send out text. You know, I'm a marketing guy. I want to do some graphic pieces. And so we would create basically a PowerPoint slide and turn to a JPEG and put that image up on our Facebook page. And then when we tracked number of views, only about 20% of the people who actually liked our page actually saw the post. And what Facebook was able to do is said, they sent an image up. We're not going to let as many people see it because we think that's a promotional piece or an advertisement. We're not going to let as many people see that on their like pages. And so Facebook is controlling who sees what you post. And so because of that, they're making it way more difficult for businesses to send out messages and have everyone who likes their page to be able to see it. And so what they obviously want to do is they want to sell advertising. And so they are kind of pigeon-toeing businesses to
free advertising.
Yeah. And so when we talk about social media is free, we're really, really, really getting away from the free piece. Not only does it someone to manage your social media campaign, but now they're really forcing companies to get into the advertising business with them. And that's how they're going to develop revenue. And so first part is media selection. What type of advertising promotional tools are we going to be using? Then what is our appeal? Meaning, what's our marketing message going to be? What's the look and feel of that message? Do you have specific colors that are going to be tied in with your logo that you're going to then make part of your promotions? Are you going to pitch or really position yourself as a low price leader or a service-oriented company? Where are you going to go, and how are people going to view your specific business? And then your initial promotional plan, what are you going to be doing for year one? And what type of budget are you looking at spending? What are the dollars that you're going to be spending on this?
Is that the dollars on the business or the dollars on the promotion of the business?
Just how much you're spending on promotion. We'll break down total dollars in that financial section, which is the last part we do in this plan. But now I just want, what are you doing and how much is it going to cost you? And you're going to include things like, we're going to have business cards, we're going to do flyers, we're going to do brochures, da 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 da. This is how much we're going to budget year one to do all these activities. Because what will end up happening is I will read, and again, we're not getting as much detail, right? We're limited to 10 pages. In the next class, when we do the full-blown business plan, this is just really kind of a feasibility study. Is it worth my while to really go into a 40-page plan? And so we're just trying to get the feasibility, and do we need to make any adjustments to where we're at? And so like when I did the popcorn business, we had one specific location in mind, and after we ran the rent numbers and everything and the quick mini plan, like, oof, it's not going to work out. And so now it's like, okay, how do I take this from where we're at? It's not working out as this. Is there a way for me to restructure it and make it work being something else? Maybe smaller scale or whatever the item might be. So what generally will happen when you read a business plan, if I'm the person reading it, I read from the financial section, and everything else up until the financial section should verify what you're putting in the financials. And so when you put in, I'm spending $800 month one on advertising as a line item in your financial section, I will go to this promotional part and say, okay, they said they're spending $800. What are they spending it on? If I just see $800 and I'm not seeing anything that coordinates into what you're going to be spending it on, then I'm going to be like, they really didn't do their due diligence in laying this out. And so these pieces, when we talk about the promotional activities, it should really explain what you're spending that dollars on that you will then end up putting in the financial section.